Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to PBTV. I'm Stu. We're live on YouTube and Facebook, and here it is. We've been waiting for it for a while. We had the interview with Will Greenwood from ASG a little bit ago, and we discussed this because obviously it was on its way. We didn't have it at the time. We made a few comments on it, had a little discussion about it. We've been waiting a long time for them to arrive. They're finally here. So this is the Steyr Scout. Not personally known its origins computer game wise. I'm not really a CSGO player, but apparently, according to Will, that's where the computer game side of it, a lot of fans will understand it from there. But it is also has its real steel counterpart, fully licensed and ready to go. We do have them in black and grey. Actually, it is a sort of lighter blue style grey. I think it's like a civilian blue thing. It looks even more blue on camera, but we assure you it is grey in colour in real life. Any comments on it at all, please drop them down below. We'll answer them as quick as we can. We want to get as much information about this out as possible because they are brand new and not many people have had their hands on them yet. So we'll go over its features, see what it can do, have a little chat about it, and see if it's something that you want to add to your collection. Not very common on platforms like this, but it does have a 40mm counterclockwise thread, so all your accessories and bits and bats like that you can stick on the front of it if you want to get a little over barrel as well. One of the few points, so after having it in hands, like pictures and stuff don't really do this thing justice. Once you've got your hands on it and you've seen it in the flesh, it is a lot nicer than I first had opinions of it, and that's the whole thing. If you can have your opinions changed, that is great. I'm still not a massive fan of the very thin outer barrel, so I may, if you had an over barrel or anything like that, a shroud or something, it might just add a bit more presence to it. It just seems, but it is very light, I will say that. So that's probably why they've made it in such a way. So coming back, you will see that it is on a bipod. This is sort of attached is a permanent feature to it. So if I lift this up, it does fold away like so, and there is a button underneath. And what we've found by using this is you have to do the legs one at a time. So when you press it, you push one of the legs out, you press it again, push the other leg out. They don't both come out at the same time. So it's not a rapid deployment bipod. It is just, it's more of a sort of sat waiting. So I wouldn't really use it in game. It is not the most sturdy of bipods or anything like that. You're going to be moving around with this. It is a scout, not a sort of defensive platform, so you're going to be moving quite rapidly with this thing. It's designed for them snipers that want to be really far up the field, in the sort of front lines, as it were, and being very sneaky and stealthy. Jamie on Facebook, that is a tasty sniper. Yes, they are brand new and they have just landed with us. They will be on the website later today, probably just after the live stream, hopefully, and you'll be able to get a lot more information on there. We're just having a quick overview of its primary features, but if you want full information, it will be on the website shortly. It does have flip-up iron sights, so at the back there is one that flips up onto a detent. The front one is slightly different. You push this little slider forward and it pops up like so. It's going to be quite hard to see in front of my black shirt. See if I can get it in front of the star. There we go. You see a little bit of a pop up there. To close it down, you then push it forward and press that down, and then it sits back. Coming back, you do have a section of rail here, and then there's two bits here. So if you do have a cantilever or a couple of high mounts or anything like that, you can throw that on there, and it does bridge across the gap of the breech. Does mean that you can then put pec boxes or rangefinders or anything on this, so you do have other bits of rail section on it as well. Very strangely, not seen this on many platforms before, but there are two ways to adjust the hop on this system. So it does have a TDC grub screw there, and a Allen key is included in the box for that one, so nice and easy. Once the bipod is down, there is then a slider. So looking through a few of the instructions and how it's described in the manual, what we're thinking the best way to get the sort of highest efficiency out of these is turn the slider hop all the way off and adjust the TDC to the weight that you're going to use. If for whatever reason you get some slight adjustments, you can then finally adjust, or say you run out of 0.4s, and someone drops you some 4/8 or something like that, you have a very slight adjustment on the slider, meaning you can just throw a few BBs in there, get a few shots out, and then readjust it later. So coming back, so there's these marks and little bolts all over it. These are the proprietary Sling Points that we believe that the sling accessories and bits and bats that are going to come out later. They are not out yet, but the real steel version has them, so they've added them to this. And apparently these are the Steyr proprietary Sling Points. Nothing that you can attach to it yet, but like I was saying, this thing it is 3 kilos, but being a bolt action, it is going to be very, very cool. James on Facebook, what's the FPS out the box? Very good question. So out the box, I've only tested it on 0.2 so far, and it is doing 410 FPS out the box. What I plan to do after the live stream and at the bottom of the website, we are going to put the dual conversions in. So I'm going to try and test it on some 2.5s all the way up to maybe 3.6s, and put a conversion chart on the website so you can see how this thing is performing with the heavyweights. Because with snipers and going up with the heavyweights and everything like that, we have to be very, very aware of dual creep and everything like that. So we will try and get a dual conversion on the website as soon as possible, but out the box on a 0.2, it is doing 410 FPS. So when it comes to magazines and other accessories, if we come to the bottom here, you can see the magazine is at the front here. Very, very easy to get out. You go to the front, pull it back, and it springs out. You do get an included adapter, so when you push it down, you can attach your adapter, and it's very, very easy to speed load your BBs into that. So that is included in the little packet in it. You do then get in the stock and in the front here. So this one we are deeming the fake mag because there's a little bit of rubber in there and there's no other space in there. The one that's in the stock, if you do get some spare mags, the idea is that you can put spare mags into that and store them in the stock. You can't do that with the spare mag at the front because there is literally no space and the actual bolt is above that. So once you pull that out, you can then stick your empty one back in, put that away, and then stick your other mag at the front. With the magazines, just for a point of reference, it does have an arrow, so pointing towards barrel, and you are good to go. Jamie on Facebook, does it come in grey, just in grey, or can I purchase it in black or possibly two-tone? So we have black and grey in stock now, and yes, they will be two-tone available. I've not spoken to the workshop guys yet, so I can't actually say what will be two-toned if you want it two-tone. As an example, 9 times out of 10 with bolt actions, it is the stock. We leave this bit here because it's just going to rub away from use, and then we'll do the front as well and probably leave the barrel and the upper. So it's usually going to be something like that. But we do have the grey version, which this is, and we do have the all-black version. Both will be available as two-tone. Another very, very cool feature is currently, obviously, you can see the red mark there. That is on fire with the safety. If I roll this back, you see that little bit that clicks up? So the safety has a safety of its own, so it can't accidentally roll off. You have to physically press the white little button and roll it forward to take the safety off. Very, very cool little extra feature and just adds a little bit of safety, especially if it's in a bag or if you're at a very, very long event. If you're at a milsim and you're going for a bit of a yomp and this thing is on a backpack or all like that, you don't want the safety rolling off. You want this to be staying in safe as much as possible. So a few other features that we have on it as well. The stock. So I think this thing is about, it's almost sort of 97-ish. So it's a meter long in its current setup, sorry. But the actual 3 sections at the back, you can take these off. They're about 1 centimeter each. So you do have a very, very small amount of adjustment with the stock. So if you're not quite perfectly comfy, you do have a small amount of adjustment. I will say as well, internally, I'm not going to go into full depths of all the modified parts and proprietary bits that are in this because it will be a video in itself. If you go back to the Will video we did, we do cover a little bit of it, but there will be an absolute amount of information on the website when this hits about the internals. Personally, I'm not a bolt action player, so anything that I'd just dwell on the internals would be just listing off a few different features. The only one that I know is the actual cylinder in this is oversized, so it's exceptionally air efficient from what we've been reading online. Obviously, I did say it has the 14mm counterclockwise thread. It is a 6.08 millimeter bore barrel, and it is a 360 millimeter in length. So those snipers out there will be able to throw some calculations in the head and wonder what they would fettle with it if they wanted to do anything. But I will sort of slightly eat my words with this. I did say to Will that it is not my cup of tea looks-wise from the pictures and everything I saw, but having it in my hands, it is slightly growing on me. The only bit that I'm really not sold on personally is the barrel. I just wish it was a bit bigger and a bit more, had a bit more of a presence to it. But again, this is something that you can do with optics, scrim, camo, accessories, anything like that. An over barrel on here will look really menacing and really, really cool. Camo it up. Do some bits and bats around it. It does have other accessory parts and slots on the bottom. So this bit here is almost like a reverse wrist section. So I presume there will be accessories possibly coming for that later. And obviously with the spare magazine capabilities that this thing has, you can run and gun all day with it. There's no need to have rigs or anything. If you're running a belt rig or a chest rig just to carry some sniper mags, you can obviously have the magazine in it, which is 32 BBs, so it's plenty of ammo for a bolt action system. And then obviously you can have a spare magazine stored in the back. Click that in there, and again you could fashion other ways to have some on the side of the stock. So if you do have any questions on it, by all means drop them down below. If you are a bolt action player and you want to know specifics, please ask them. I will quickly go over a few of the features for some people that have just joined us. So this is the Steyr Scout from ASG, produced by Modify. So people that have been in the sport for a while will know that Modify makes some exceptionally top-end built bolt actions from various different people and platforms. So having that stamp on the side is basically almost like a stamp of approval. It is made by a very exceptional company when it comes to internal parts and quality build. 40mm counterclockwise thread, so all your accessories will fit. It does have a 6.08 inner barrel, and it is 360mm in length. You do have some pop-up front sights. You can see it pop up just there, and then you have to slide it forward and press it back down to put that one away. The one at the rear just simply pulls up into a detent. There's small wrist section, and then you have two single points here. So you will be able to put you will be able to bridge a short dot or cantilever across there, or a couple of low mounts, and then you still have bits of rail left for accessories, rangefinders, lasers, anything like that. The grub screw that is at the top there is one of the two hop adjustment systems, so it does have a TDC system, and then we also have, if I try and get it open, it's not the easiest thing to get the no, it's not going to work now that I'm on. There we go. So on this side, it'll be much easier to see. You do have the slider style hop system there as well. And again, that is on a detent, so it's very, very easy to then fine adjust your hop after you've done the TDC. Just gives a little bit more sort of perfect hop setup. And in the manual, it's saying you would set it with the TDC and then fine adjust with the slider. And the TDC looks like it does have some form of Loctite on there, so it is going to be very, very stable and very, very accurate when this thing gets on a range. The bolt pull is exceptionally smooth with the overboard cylinder and everything like that, and the safety has its own safety on it as well. So when it is in safe, there's a little white button there. You have to press that to then roll this forward for it to get into a position where it will fire. Magazine wise, you have a 32 round magazine at the front here, and this bit at the back you can store a second magazine in there and then swap them as you see fit. The stock itself, these sections here can be removed, just giving you slight adjustment, and for what we've gathered in the manual, these bolts and everything are potentially Steyr proprietary Sling Points that may come out in the future. We aren't too sure yet. We've just got these in, so we'll see what happens in the future. So, very, very cool. Coming out the box about 410 FPS. We will try and do a dual conversion chart for those people that are obviously, you're not going to use 0.2s in this. You're probably going to be up at 3.6s, maybe even 4s. And basically you want to know what this is doing dual-wise rather than FPS. So, highly recommend this. I'm definitely eating my words a little bit on my comments in the Will video. it was basically through the images and everything like that. I just wasn't a fan of the look. But now I've got it in hand. It is a very, very different beast indeed. And I look forward to seeing people using it on the field. But if that's everything today, this has been the Steyr Scout. It's finally here. It will be on the website very, very soon. And if you want to get your hands on it, jump on it ASAP. But yeah, that's everything for today. We'll be back again at 4 p.m. tomorrow. If you want to join us for a chat, by all means you can. Until then, I'll see you in a bit.